Hey, hi, Rob here, and along with the 10 question challenge from Papa Texas that I've got the questions written down here for, I was grinding up a little bit of chicken feed. I got some baby chicks hatched out. I've had them off and on and off and on. I should have a whole bunch of baby chicks, but some of my mamas aren't great mamas. I got a buddy of mine that laments the same thing with his chickens, but I still got a few left. But there's another batch hatching out right now, and so since I don't want to go get a bag of commercial starter just for 8 or 10 chicks, then I'm grinding up a little bit. What I'm doing is I'm just grinding up some wheat and Milo that I've got, and it just kind of grinds it down. Here, let me do that real quick. Dump that in there as I pour it all over the floor. That's pretty great. And I've got a different grinder, and it seems to be just throwing stuff everywhere, so I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this one or not. But basically, you just turn the crank, and the auger pushes it through the little cutters, and you come out with that. And I'm too tall here. There we go. That's better. You come out with that. It doesn't grind it into a flour or a real fine thing, but what it does is it breaks up enough of the seeds, the wheat and the Milo, that the baby chicks can eat it, and then it gives the mom something to eat too while they're all sitting right there. So it works out pretty good. But I'll finish that in a minute. Oh, first things first, Crazy Scotsman, all y'all know him, Scotsman's a good guy. He is always doing a fundraiser. I'll just give a quick shout out, kind of unplanned here for him. He is always doing something good for somebody. I mean, the dude's always doing something good for somebody. Most recently, they were doing some t-shirt sales for Mr. Holster. I got mine. Of course, I had to get about a size 12 XL because I've gotten so rotund lately. But still, it's a good shirt, and enjoy the moment. I've actually got some sleeves on. That's not an everyday thing for me. I got to get a better footstool here. This thing keeps trying to fall over. I'm just going to have to... Maybe that'll work. So anyway, the reason we're here, Papa Texas had a 10 question challenge. I don't know if that's the right thing, but the idea is he had 10 questions. To answer the 10 questions, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I forgot to write down who originally started it or where he got it from. But here are the 10 questions. Let us begin. Question, I can look over my glasses. Question number 1. Best way to start any conversation: how many rolls of toilet paper do you have? Well, it turns out we got a bunch. You know, normally that would just be a silly thing you would ask somebody, but with toilet paper becoming, for a while, I think the moment has passed now, but with toilet paper having become something of a trading medium almost, certainly something of a commodity, it was the good question. Happy Hair and I, you know, we've been doing this prepping thing a long time. And we have a house, mostly women in our house. And so, you know, toilet paper was the thing, so we made sure we had plenty. How many rolls? I don't know for sure. I didn't go count, but I know what we've got, and it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 to 200 rolls. Yep, that's a lot. Now, it makes it a little easier for us because we got a motel, that little motel we've got in town. We ordered toilet paper by the case for that, and so, you know, we've ordered it by the case for ourselves to make sure that we have stocked up and put it away. And quite honestly, when this whole thing started, Wes and I were up in the Davis Mountains. We came down, some of y'all have heard this story, but we came down, got cell service again, and we could look and see what was going on in the world, and we saw people losing their mind over toilet paper and everything else, and we pretty much just laughed about it because it was funny, because we knew we were okay, we didn't need it. So toilet paper we got. So there we go. Question number 2. What has been your biggest change since lockdown? For me, nothing, because I didn't get locked down. I wasn't going to be locked down. I'm still not locked down. I've still been working and going and doing whatever I want to and breaking. Y'all know me. I'm not much of a rule follower. And I have been breaking every rule. I go to the grocery stores and I go the wrong direction down the aisles. I break every social distancing rule. I go in and the guy tries to stop me from going in until the people in front of me are so far ahead. I tell him to kiss my butt and I walk in anyway. not quite daring him to do something about it, but knowing they're not going to. Now, one of the grocery stores I go to is a good customer, so I'm not quite as obnoxious. Not quite as obnoxious there, but I do it in a laughing way so that everybody can have a joke about it. Anyway, not much has changed for us. Maybe the one thing that changes is some of our church leaders decided to comply with the rules, and we haven't actually had church at church. We have gone to people's houses and had church, and yes, we've had more than 10 people there because we don't care. So anyway, that's that. Question number 3. Oh, see, this one I haven't. See, I had a cheat sheet here that I wrote down. You know, some changes. Anyway, that I wrote down some of the answers on in case I went blank, and this is one I couldn't come up with an answer for. I don't know what I'm most grateful for. The last 8 months hadn't been a big time of gratitude for me. It has been kind of on the other end of the scale. But I suppose, in the context of this question, you know, maybe the thing I'm most grateful for that might apply to other people too is I am grateful for a friend of mine back when I was about 19 years old when I used to work for a carnival, and before I ever got into official prepping. You know, around here, my family especially, we grew up doing the prepping thing but didn't know it was prepping. I may have to go shoot a rooster. We always had canned goods and stuff and kept chickens and things like that, and so this is just the way of life. But my buddy Will and I were talking about that kind of thing one day, and we talked about it a little bit, and I saw him one day, and he said, "Hey, have you done anything to kind of get ready?" Pardon me just for a second. Rooster, better get from here. I whacked him with the spear. I didn't stick him with it, but I whacked him with it. Maybe he'll be quiet. So anyway, my buddy Will is talking to me. He said, "Have you done anything to get ready lately?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I went to the grocery store, got a couple of things." I said, "What about you?" And he looks at me real close. "I bought a case of Spam." I was like, "Whoa, you bought a case of Spam? Holy cow, dude." So what are you expecting, man? You think something bad's going to happen? He said, "You never know." And as stupid as that sounds, that was kind of the catalyst, and started taking it serious at that point, and here we are today. And I can tell you that was about 1981, maybe 82, somewhere along in there. Maybe 1980. And that's it. I'm going to move the stool so I quit putting my foot on it. It keeps falling. I'm having a great day here. Wow. So anyway, that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for me and a buddy of mine working at a carnival and enjoying life and thinking about things that could happen. And it's kind of what I think this is kind of what Papa Texas had in mind for doing this and get some other people to do it, is to encourage everybody to do simple stuff to get ready. So, not much change for me. That was a long answer for that. Good grief. All right, we're going to run through them a little quicker now. What have you gone without lately? Let me check my cheat sheet here because I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Yep, nothing. We haven't gone without anything. The only thing that we hadn't done, we hadn't made a Sam's run in a while, and so we were low on vitamin C, on the big bottles of vitamin C that we like to have. But we haven't done without vitamin C. Nobody's got scurvy around here. We're still doing okay. So that would be the one thing maybe we've gone without. Question number 5. What are you grateful for? Twice must be a mistake. So I don't know what question number 5 was supposed to be, but I don't have it either. Question number 6. See, that'll move things along quicker if we don't repeat questions, won't it? Question number 6. What are you missing the most? Again, that question means different things to me than it would to a lot of people. I mean, I'm missing my daughters. That's what I'm missing. But that is not the context of this. So, yes, I wrote down a good answer. I wrote down a lot better answer than that. I am missing the perceived sanity that I thought existed among most people. Watching the panic and the the unqualified and unrational fear that's going on right now surrounding this whole thing. I get it. Alicia Clegg, I believe that's her name, over at Toxic Threads, neat gal, got some good points. She put out a good point the other night that stuck with me. Something I knew, something we all know. Don't make fun of somebody for being afraid. Don't berate them. Don't get on to them for being afraid. If you're afraid of something, that's a real thing. And it's real for other people too. Some people are terrified of different things. I've got the misfortune of not being afraid of anything other than the thing that actually happened to me. That was the one thing I was afraid of, and it happened. And if that can happen, anything can happen. So if somebody's afraid of something, if they're afraid of spiders, don't torment them. If your sister's afraid of snakes, don't throw one on her. Don't do that. That was wrong for me to do that. But that's what I miss. People are afraid. People are, cautious is one thing. Being afraid and willing to give up freedoms, that's something else. That's no good. Don't give up your freedoms for a perceived safety, because you don't wind up with either one. And that's a paraphrase that we all know. But that's what I miss. Number 7, I think. When was the last time you were at a campsite? Well, I already answered that question, talking about Wes and I being up at the Buffalo Trail Scout Ranch here when this happened. And it was the week after March the 6th, and I know that because March the 6th is the day the Alamo fell, and that's always a big deal for us here in Texas, is the 13 days up to March the 6th, the siege of the Alamo. And I made sure I was here so that us and some friends of ours could all sit down and watch the Alamo together. The original one with John Wayne. Maybe not the most accurate, but it's a good fun movie to watch, and since that was the right day for it, that's what we did. The following week, I spent all week at camps, maybe not all week, but I spent several days at campsites, hiking, going back in the backcountry. It was great, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. It's already been too long. Question number 8. What is your favorite quarantine food? I hope I wrote notes on this one because nothing comes to mind. Let's see what I wrote. Oh, of course, yeah. Grilled sausage and sauerkraut. Heck yeah, that's one of my favorite foods anytime. But, especially during the quarantine, that's one of the things we ate. Sauerkraut, healthy. In fact, we just did a Happy Hair, and I sat here and did a video about that just the other day. By the way, some of that sauerkraut went bad. We've never had that happen before. That was very bad. We think we salvaged most of it. Sauerkraut's a really healthy thing, except I'm not sure the top layer of this sauerkraut was very healthy. It certainly didn't look very healthy. But, yeah, sausage, sauerkraut, and beer. That's hard to beat. That's hard to beat, quarantine or not. So I would encourage that. Question number 9. How are you exercising, working out? Well here, in all honesty, I do a little bit of running, not nearly as much not nearly as much as I ought to. And maybe if I'd quit eating all the other stuff. But here, I'll just show you across my still kind of messy shop here. There we go. That's how I'm working out. I got a weight bench right over there. Bench presses, curls, skull crushers, all kinds of good stuff like that. That's what I'm doing to work out. Trying to keep this old body healthy. Where'd I have my camera sitting? Now I got to put it back. All right. This is going to be a crazy video. I may not even publish this. Who knows? All right. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Hey, I didn't listen to Papa Texas's answer for what he's doing to stay healthy. I got to go back and watch that because I must have been thinking at that spot and not listening. Oh, who are you crap, I didn't even think about that. Who are you choosing to challenge for 5 people? I don't know. I don't know. I could throw some names out, but I don't just want to dump on them like that. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Before I actually publish this, I will get a hold of 3 or 4 or 5 other people and get them to do the, I'll get their permission first. I'm not just going to call their names out. Well, I want to, though, because I'd love to promote some people. I'm going to ask Matt A. I'm going to ask Wes. I don't know who, I'm going to ask Happy Hair. That's an easy one. I'll ask Happy Hair. I don't know who else I'm going to ask to do this. Maybe I'll ask Delaware Prepper. Maybe Midwest, no, not Midwest Prepper. Guns Coast to Coast. That's who he is now. I don't know who I'll let. Maybe I'll get Reed over at Manifestation of Imagination. I just don't know who all I'm going to ask. But lots of good people out there that I'd love to hear from if they want to do it. But like I say, I'm going to ask them offline. I'll send them an email or something. That means this video may take a day or two to come out. Maybe I'll drop it on them anyway. Who knows? But I'll put some links down at the bottom to the guys that may do it and their channels, and we'll do it that way. All right, now I think there was a bonus question. What has been or will be your pandemic panic purchase? Let's say that 3 times. Your pandemic panic purchase. For us, it was comfort foods. We had all the staples and all the everything else we need. We got the wheat we can grind into flour. We've got yeast stockpiled. We know how to make sourdough starter. We got chickens, which means we got eggs, and we got garden stuff, and we've got all kinds of canned goods that we've canned. Loads of green beans, black-eyed peas. We've got jams and jellies and preserves that we've put up. We've got, my goodness, we got a freezer, 2 freezers full of meat and that kind of thing, so we are set and ready to go. We didn't need anything major. We were not, when I tell you we weren't worried about it, we were laughing, we really were. We bought comfort foods, extra box of wine, extra bottle of little medicinal value whiskey. Chips, back to this again, big surprise, chips and dips and cheeses and just all kinds of good stuff like that. You know, something's going to get me someday, and if I get got because of eating too much and being too happy, that's not a terrible way to go. So that's what we did. Anyway, this is probably like about an hour and a half now that we've been doing this. I do not know. But we'll pick somebody else to do it. If they don't, they don't. No big deal. You know, I used to do a lot of these, and I kind of got to where I didn't anymore because sometimes it wasn't what I felt like talking about or getting into. But, you know, when I was early on and didn't have much to do, I did, and I'm rambling on. Anyway, there we go. There's my 10 things. Don't know what I missed. Maybe nothing. Yeah, so we should be good. All right, hey, I tell you all the time how much I appreciate you, and it's the absolute truth. I really do. I love seeing all the things people commenting back. I love when people harass me or make fun of me, tease me about stuff. I'm an easy target. I don't care. I like to laugh and have a good time. When I get serious and in a bad mood, that's not near as much fun, so I try to avoid that, and it happens sometimes. But I'm looking forward to and you know what, if I don't call you out and you want to do it and let me know you did it, I think that'd be awesome. I'd love to see your 10 answers to these questions, or 9 since we've doubled up on one. I don't know. Anyway, thank y'all, and stay safe, stay healthy. Don't give up your freedoms. Don't be one of the sheep. This is not as scary as it seems. I know the government did a good sales job of trying to make everybody terrified and trying to pump up the numbers, and they did. They have worked overtime to pump up the numbers and make this look worse than it is. I talk a good conspiracy, but I don't see a lot of conspiracies. But in this case, I think there's something going on. I think they're utilizing an opportunity to try and gain more control. And do not kid yourself. When the government gets something or puts something in place, it doesn't go away. You know, everybody says, oh, they'll lock us down and we'll have to give up a bunch of stuff now, but then in a little while it'll all be okay again and everything will be back to normal. No, it doesn't work that way. If the government takes something from you, do not count on getting it back. Do not count on that. The wheels of government turn slow unless they're turning to grind you under the wheels. So remember that. Please remember that. Hold your elected people accountable. Email them, phone call them, write a letter's even better. I know nobody does that anymore. But be ready to vote for somebody else. They need to be held accountable. Politicians, doctors, dentists, and lawyers all have no accountability. You know, they can do whatever they want. And if I offend, I know there's a couple of guys that are doctors, lawyers, that kind of stuff out there. No offense, guys. I love you. You know, I'm kind of messing with you a little bit. But overall, politicians especially have no accountability. They live by a different set of standards. They get away with things that none of the rest of us ever would. That's bullcrap. We need to shut that down. Anyway, I'm getting away from that whole fun and thing, getting into the serious stuff, so stop that. Knock that off, Rob. Hey, thanks, that's it. I'm shutting up now. I really am. I really am. Bye. All right, I'm back. It is the next day, and I got the 5 people, actually wound up with 6 people that agreed to do it. They all agreed about the same time. I figured at least a couple of them would have said no, and maybe one of them did. And by the way, in case you're wondering, yes, in fact, this is a skunk head. How about that? Who all wants it? Maybe we'll do a 1K subscriber giveaway and somebody will win, not the head. I got to send it off and get it tested. Video coming up about that. You know, anything for a good time around here. I'm telling you, there's seldom a dull moment. Some jobs are more pleasant than others. Anyway, lest I digress. We got the 6 people that agreed to to get tagged and do the video. So I'm going to tell you who they are in case you were wondering. I'm also going to, of course, put the links down under here. You know, when you go down the bottom there and you look, there's all the other stuff. When it says show more, well, this will be the more that it's going to show. So I'm using that same stupid stool again. I don't learn very fast, do I, for a footstool? All right, so we got Wayne from West Wind. No, it's not Wayne. Now what is it? Wayne? He used to be West Wind. That's bad. I don't remember what he is. He's still just Wayne to me. Maybe it's just Wayne G? Crap, Wayne, you weren't supposed to change your name. Now I don't know. Anyway, Wayne's going to do it. We got Chris McBee. A lot of y'all may not know him. Chris is a good guy. Off out living in a wonderful part of the world. I don't know if he wants everybody to know where he is, so I won't say. We got Matt A., my buddy Matt, off out where he lives now. He said he would do it. We got Oliver over at Uman channel, way up there in the big city, said he would do it. Delaware Prepper, Mac over at Delaware Prepper channel, said he would do it. And we got Bob Hansler, said he would do it on Barely Survival. Now, a lot of y'all may not know that Bob has a second channel, but it's called Barely Survival. It's got some pretty good stuff on there. That's more of his fun channel, I guess, not quite as serious and in-depth as the Bob Hansler channel. But he said he'd do it. Now, I also asked Dad on YouTube, send him a text message and see if he'd do it. He didn't respond back to me. He may not love me anymore. Probably he just didn't see it yet, and now he'll find this and go, oh, I didn't see your text message. I'd love to do it. I'd love to do 3 of them. Probably not. Anyway, he may yet. In fact, I may just put his name down there just because I like him, and we'll put him on there. But anyway, that's the people that are going to do it, and I will tell you all about this stinky little SOB here in the next video. So be looking for that. Anyway, thanks, and appreciate y'all.